In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up the Flashforge Creator 5 3D printer. Step number one, what we first want to do is open up the box. Usually with these 3D printers, what you can kind of do is cut the tape with a razor blade and then open up the tabs on the cardboard box. And usually what you can do is kind of just lift it out using the plastic and see if it holds the weight of the 3D printer, and it does. Then I move the cardboard box over a table and I kind of just give it a couple wiggles. Or what you can do is kind of set it on the ground and give it a good pull. It's definitely not easy by any means. Then step number two, what you need to do is open up this plastic. Usually it has tabs that you can kind of just pull open. And then what I tend to do is take a razor blade, be very careful, and just cut up and peel it down. And next what we're gonna have to do is similar to step number one where we kind of lifted it up, grab the frame of the 3D printer, lift it over and get rid of this plastic and then bring it back over to your table. Then step number three, what we need to do here is have the front facing you. So you can see here where it says Flashforge and Creator 5. This is the front of the 3D printer. We want to kind of twist this to the front of us so that we're looking directly at it. Start by removing the styrofoam on the top. So it appears that this top styrofoam is kind of tricky to get out. So what I'm going to try to do here is pull this right side out first, and then this should just kind of pull out at an angle. See, this is kind of withholding that from pulling straight up. Then once the top section is out, what you kind of do next is pull out this section on the inside of it. You're gonna have to kind of pull down on these PTFE tubes right here to get it to come through. And then we can remove all of this from the 3D printer. All right, so here is the 3D printer enclosure, the Creator 5 here. The first thing we are going to install here is the display, and that goes in this section right here. So go on over to the section in your styrofoam and find your display. It should look exactly like this. We are going to look at the back here, and you can kind of see how this aligns on there. See how that's gonna directly kind of plug and play in there? It's kind of plug it in there. As you can see, it lines up perfect, and then push it in. And then we need to find the two screws that go inside there. So go over to your styrofoam section here and find your little tool kit. The screws should be in this little section. And the screws we're looking for are two screws that are M3 x 6. So kind of just scan through these. This is M3 x 16. Here it is right here. So open those up and then grab two of these screws here. And as you can see, the heads on these are Allens. So you need to go back over to your tool kit and figure out which Allen is going to work for that. It appears to be the middle one in the toolkit. So then next, bring those screws over here with your Allen wrench and then just delicately put the screws in there. And then we are going to tighten them. There you have it. The display is now installed and you can actually tilt it to an angle of your needs. All right, so the next thing that we need to install are these little pieces that kind of slot into these four slots right here. So get a good idea where this is on your 3D printer. It's right here where the multiple tool heads are going to go. So go back over to your Ziploc baggie here, and these are the small little tabs that we need here. And how this works here is we actually need these things to point down like so. And then what we're gonna do here is we are going to just kind of pop each of these into these slots. See how this lines up right there? Just be kind of delicate. It just should slide in there really smoothly. And again, there is 4 of these. So install all of those, 3, and then last one, 4. And that's what they should look like so. The next thing we need to install is known as the extruder module. It's essentially a piece that goes here on the body and then also comes up over here with the tubes and then goes into the tool heads. And that's this piece right here sticking out in your styrofoam. So we're gonna have to pull this out. So just gently pull this out of the styrofoam. And again, maybe grab a razor blade because I can see some tape that we're gonna have to be cutting. It's kind of a funky deal to get out, honestly. You just kind of gotta pull each side. And then I'm gonna lay this flat here and you can do the same. What you kind of got to do is cut this tape. Just be very careful with your blade because there is a lot of wires in here. And then take off and dismantle each piece of cardboard accordingly. All right, there's one side of it. And then now for the other side. It's ready to be installed here. Pull them out. They're kind of notched inside the cardboard. Okay, so before we install this, I just want to give you an idea of how it goes in. So this flat piece right here with the 2 screw holes right there, see those screw holes? Those are actually going to pop into the side of the printer right here. And you can see where the screw holes go in, and then that's gonna pop in there, and then these tool heads are gonna come over here. And what I would advise you to do is actually get those screws ready. So those are the M3x16 screws. And again, there's only 2 of them, but they give you 3. One of them is backup. And this screw is actually the larger size Allen. So put that other one back and grab your largest size. So what we need to do here is bring all these cords in here, put the tool heads in there, and you actually kind of got to like slot it inside here. So kind of put it like that and then push it down. It's kind of scary, but it does slam down. And then now we're gonna put the screws in these little screw holes right here. And remember, you don't gotta tighten these like crazy because this is just plastic. The 2 screws are tightened. Now we are ready to move on. Now that we have that installed, now what we need to do here is we need to put these tool heads, we need to connect each of them into the slots where they go. So start with the very end here. So just kind of follow the cords here. And then what we need to do here is we need to line this up. This section right here is actually going to be facing outward. You can kind of see the magnet right there. It's going to connect to that magnet right there. And you can see the holes line up perfectly. See that right there? And then we are just gonna line it up and then press it in. And there you have it. And you can kind of bend these cords to kind of get it into its motion that it should be in. And you need to do that for each of these tool heads. Click that one in. And then the next one, we will do the same. And then the last one. So easy peasy, right? And what you can kind of do is kind of bend these cords back to get them where they need to be. And there you have it. We have those installed. Next, what we're gonna do is we are going to connect this last cord right here into the printer head right here. So all you have to do here is kind of put your hand on this metal axis right here. It's kind of scary, but just kind of push it forward like so. And you'll see the belt system kind of move with it. All we need to do here is grab the end of this cord, take a look at it, and you'll see that it directly fits right into this setup. So just kind of plug it in there. It looks exactly like a Type C. I could be wrong, but it appears so. And then we need to find the 2 little screws that go in there. And these are the screws right here. It's the ST2 x 9.5, and we need 2 of them. And again, it is the middle size Allen wrench size, if that helps you at all. What might help is to first kind of just jam the screws in the holes themselves and then come back with the Allen, because the Allen is not magnetized, unfortunately, and they'll just fall right off. So just kind of tighten those. You don't got to get them crazy tight. There you have it. That is now installed. We've almost finished the setup of the Flashforge Creator 5. We just have a couple more things to do. Please consider subscribing for helping you out with this. All right, so the next step that we need to do here is we need to remove these screws holding down the bed right here. So there's 3 locations. 1 is right here, 2 is right there. You can see the little arrows by it, and then 3 on this side. So what you need to do here is grab your larger size Allen that came with your toolkit, and we need to start loosening these screws and remove them completely. All right, removing the second one, and then the third one. Next, what we need to do here to finish the setup, we need to install the spool holders that are gonna hold the rolls of filament on the side of the 3D printer. So as you can see here, there's like 4 little spots right here where the spool holders are gonna go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here are your spool holders in the styrofoam right here. This is what they look like right here. And they're kind of just gonna pop in there, and then a screw is gonna hold them in there. What's sort of weird though is we have to peel these things off. So I'm sort of just testing this for the first time myself, but what I'm gonna try using here is a blade, and I'm kind of just gonna get in there and kind of remove it. I think it's just a sticker. Yeah, it's just a weird sticker. I wonder why they do that. So just remove all of those. That's the second one. Okay, and then what we need to do here is you need to grab your spool holders. There's gonna be 4 of them, obviously, because there's 4 holes. And then what we need to do here is we need to find the screw that goes in here, and that is the M3x14. It's this size. They're the silver looking screws right here. And again, for the Allen size, it is the largest Allen that comes within the kit. All right, guys, so I'm doing an edit here on the video here, and what you actually want this to be, you want these to be sticking out this way, like so. So make sure on both ends that they are sticking outwards. And then, of course, do the rest of the others. There should be 4 of them total. Now that you have those installed, lastly, what we need to do here is we need to get this thing some power. So grab the power cord here and take it out of the bag. And then this end right here goes into the side of the 3D printer down there. You can kind of see it. It should just line up perfectly right there. And then I'm going to run this behind the table right here, and I'm going to plug it in. And then there's a big power switch here on the side right here. See that? That is now going to turn on your 3D printer. And lastly, all you have to do here is walk through the setup wizard on the display. It's essentially going to have you connect to your Wi-Fi. You're going to have to create a Flashforge account, and you're also probably going to have to download the Flashforge app to be able to do this, because what happens is you have to scan this QR code with it, and if you don't have it yet, you need to get it. So once you're logged into Flashforge, all we're going to do is click this plus button right here, and then click allow camera, and then we are going to scan that QR code. There you have it. It is now seeing the 3D printer, and then click confirm binding. And now my 3D printer is connected right there. And then your machine's gonna ask you to go through a huge calibration, which is totally normal for all 3D printers. So just click confirm and let it do its thing. All right, and next what we wanna do here is we wanna 3D print our first file on the Creator 5. So if you go up to your home screen here, what we first need to do is figure out how to load filament, because we don't have filament, right? So what we need to do here is click on the filament section right here, and you can see that there are no filaments in our numbers 1 through 4. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go ahead and load filament here, and then we're gonna put it into number 1, obviously. So take your spool of filament, put it on the spool holder, and we're gonna continue to feed it until it stops. You can tell that the filament went all the way up to the PTFE tube and then hit the spot right here, and then it stopped right there. Then you can see that this showed up right here, and it notices in the filament sensor that there's now filament in the machine. We're gonna tap and highlight on that spool and click edit, and we're going to select what it is. This is PLA, and it is purple, and that should be ready to go now for filament. Then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go back to the home screen, and then we're gonna click on print file right here, and as you can see here, it has a benchy 3D model on the machine, so click that, and then we are going to click on print. There you have it, guys. The 3D print has started, and we are off to the races. Hopefully this video helped you learn how to set up your Flashforge Creator 5. Make sure to subscribe. And here is the video right here on how to use the Flashforge slicer. Guys, the video's right here. You might as well click it because that's your next step.